close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering, and may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Let's begin with the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, which means I bow to the inner light. Let's begin the practice. Come to standing. So let's begin with a mantra for purification to purify this space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you happen to know it, you can chant it along. If not, just think about those effects of purification, and you derive all the benefits as though you were chanting the words perfectly. 3 times. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Pihantraha Sajihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Bhyantraha Sachihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Bhyantraha Sachihi. So let's do breathing for inner healing in order to promote healing, mental, physical, and mental, emotional, and physical healing. Bring your arms out in front of the chest, the wrist height to the shoulders. From the heart, inhale up to the brow center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold all the healing energy there. Hold the breath. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the arms. Imagine all the toxins draining out just as though the arms were a tap. 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again from the heart to the brow center. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the brow center, make it available to all beings. Exhale out through the arms again. Send out all the impurities out with the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale from the heart to the brow center. Breathe in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the attention and the breath held at the brow center. Imagine all beings tapping into your healing energy. Exhale out to the arms, send out all the impurities, all the toxins, and all the sickness out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Let's continue with the exercises. From here on in, imagine you're the body, you're the witness watching the body moving by itself. Start to roll the head in circles. Loosen up the neck. Try to bring the ears to the shoulders. The back of the head to touch the top of the back, and the chin to come right across the front of the chest. Good. And then switch the direction of rotation. Now from here, legs apart a little bit, maybe the left foot in front of the right, and just start to spin the right arm forward. And then go backwards. Forward again. And then go back. Change feet, the right foot forward, left arm circles forward. And then go backwards. Feel as though you're winding yourself up like a great machine. And then forward again. And go backwards. And release. Stand your feet about 10 inches apart. Bring your arms up over the head and take hold of the opposite elbows here. So from here, just make little circles with the neck and the head mostly. And then just start to bring more of the chest into it, the shoulders. And then start to make large circles, hinging at the hips, or rotating the whole trunk. And then coming back up, right, and then change direction. Again, mostly just the head and the neck first. And then maybe bringing in the chest a little bit more, the upper back. And then the whole trunk. One more circle, and then coming back up. Good. Now from here, we're going to do lion's breath 8 times. Make like you're pouncing like a lion, and you have to, of course, do the expression as well, with the big eyes and the tongue hanging out of the mouth. Let's go. Coming back up. Shake out the wrists. Move the fingers very, very rapidly, like you're shaking water off your hands. And then up and down, like the wings of a hummingbird. They move, fingers move so fast you can't even see them, they're like a blur. And then just allow the arms to just drop by the sides, and then start to move the body from side to side. The shoulders moving the body, and the arms taking the body any which way. Try to go faster and faster. Head flying. And then start to slow it down. Arms again feeling heavy as they hit the body. And then coming back. Right, so now if you need to, you can hold on to a wall, or I happen to have a bike nearby, and you're just going to swing the right leg back and forth. So you bring the leg forward, try to hit the knees, you bring back, imagine trying to hit yourself in the head from behind with a foot. Do according to your condition, of course. Let's try the other leg now. So. And release. Bring your feet close together. And press the palms up towards the sky, turn the palms towards the sky, inhale, lift up the heels, and drop back the heels, lift the toes. Push into your toes, come up, and back down. Hollow out the navel, feel everything pushing up and in, and down. And then up again, and down. One more time, lift up, stay up this time. Feel as though you're trying to push the ceiling right off, right through the roof. Lower the heels down, release the arms. Let's continue with Surya Namaskar. Come to the front of the mat, hands to the heart. Close the eyes, come back to the intention of offering up the practice for all beings everywhere. Imagine this as your divine duty. Do the practice because it must be done. Be grateful for all that you have and all that you are, so you can and try to transmit all of it to all beings everywhere. So let's move together as one to stay in a collective mind. Imagine you're moving with a school of fish. Raise your arms up over the head. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Chest on your thighs, head close to the ground. Right foot slides back into a lunge. Sink down to the seat, lower the knee down. Come into high plank. Lower the knees down and bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Now pull the arms, slide the elbows out to the side if you need to propel yourself forward to Cobra. Now come all the way back, your seat behind the heels again. Again, come forward, brush your nose to the ground, raise the head, bring the head all the way back. One last time. Bring the seat all the way back and slide between your arms, coming up gracefully. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Savasana. Sink the heart towards the ground. Then the right foot steps forward. If it's too difficult, lower the back knee down first. The foot doesn't make it all the way. Use the right hand to assist the foot forward. Then bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, again, head down. Come all the way up to standing. Arch back, feel comfortable, hands back to the heart. Reach up, hips forward. Stretch the arms over the head and come forward and down. Fold the body in half. Left foot back into lunge. Drop the seat down right close to the front heel. Come into high plank. Knees down, seat all the way back, and then glide forward again between your arms. Push the shoulders back, back of the neck long. Throat open. Come all the way back. Once again. Keep watching the body moving. Imagine you're the witness. You're the seer, not the doer. Come forward again for the third time. And then from here, roll over your toes. Adho Mukha Savasana. Left foot steps forward silently. Feet together. Pull the body down onto the legs. Come all the way up and back. Hands back to the heart. Move in a way that's pleasing to watch. Imagine you're one with God. So God is a witness. You want to make the expression as beautiful as possible. Right foot back into a lunge. Plank. Ashtanga Namaskar. Knees, chest, forehead down. Come forward into the cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Melt the heart. Right foot steps forward to the hands. Bring the feet back together. Bow to the legs in a gesture of humility. Come right up. Surrender to the highest self. Hands back to the heart. Reach up and back. Every pose says surrender. It is reflecting surrender. Left foot back. And that surrender is to selfless service to all beings. Ashtanga Namaskara. Come forward into the cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps. Feet together. Feels like you're doing a dance. Link all the moves together seamlessly. Rise up. Return home. Let's add on. Arms over the head. Stretch the whole front of the body. Glide down gracefully. So from here, right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Raise your arms over the head. Kapiyasana, crescent moon shape with your body. And then bring the hands down. Press into your feet, swing the left leg all the way up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. Here, if you can, if you have the strength, bend the elbows, lower your chest down first if you need to. Lower the knee down at the same time as your chest is moving down. Come forward, right into Cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then the right leg comes all the way up and back. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Raise your arms over the head. Reach up over the head. Stretch the body up by the hips. Bring the hands back down. Step the feet back together. And then push the body into your legs. Head comes down towards the ground. Rise up to standing. And bring the hands back to the heart. Again, reach the arms over the head. Gracefully come down. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the left foot back. Move in a way that allows the body to move in synchronicity with the breath. And then allows the breath to stay steady even as well. So the right leg comes up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward. Lower the chest. Again, you can bring the knee down if you need to. Come forward into Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Left foot comes up and back. Three-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Sink down to the seat. Arms over the head. Crescent moon. Stretch the body out of the hips. And then bring the hands back down. Slide the right foot in to meet the left. Push the body into your legs. Seat comes high. The head comes down. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. And return home. Raise your arms over again. Again, another variation. Come forward and down. From here, bend the knees. Land the belly on your thighs. Join the hands behind the back. Extend through the crown and pull the body down. The head plunges towards the earth. Push the body into the hip and into the legs. Imagine you're trying to get your chest beyond your knees and the head to rest right on top of your feet. Pull the arms way over your head, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And now from here, place your hands down from the feet. Lift up a little bit, shoulder, you lift the heels, shoulders over the fingertips. From here, press firmly into your hands and your elbows as you slide your toes back into Chaturanga, or you can walk right back onto your belly. Come into upward facing dog if you're hovering in Chaturanga. Try to get your hips further forward between your hands. Pull the shoulders back. Pulse a little bit here. Try to get your chest further forward. Make the chest as large as possible. Dharma likes to say, imagine you're Mussolini. You look like Mussolini with a big, puffed up chest. Roll over your toes now back into downward facing dog. Melt the heart towards the ground.
Flatten out the arms. If you're flexible, try to touch the top of the head, maybe in the back of the head to the mat. Belly to the thighs. Make like a dog stretching its back. Then from here, lift the heels, bend the knees, jump the feet to the hands. Extend the head forward and pull the body down onto your legs. Bend your knees again, join the hands behind the back. Go deeper, Uttanasana. Top of the head reaching towards the feet. Hands going beyond your head towards the ground. Then release the hands, bring them back on the back and right in front and over the head. Hands back to the heart. And one more like that. Raise your arms over the head, hips forward, stretch front of the body. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Bend the knees so you can land the belly on the thighs. And you just keep using your body to push the legs further back until they straighten the heels over, the hips over the heels. Again, try to shimmy your chest down further. Keep the back of the neck long. Then release the hands down beside the feet, a little bit in front as well. Lift the chest, shift your weight forward so you can lift your heels a little bit, shoulders come over the fingertips, push into your hands, and as you go back with your feet, bend your elbows so you land smoothly and softly. Into upward facing dog. Now roll over your toes, immediately back into downward facing dog, and move to between these two forms gracefully. Roll around your back, uncoil, coming to upward facing dog. Feel like a dog howling at the moon. And then right back, chin in the chest, sink the heart like a loyal dog to its master. One more time, roll forward, open up the heart, look up and back. Roll over your toes, and back into downward facing dog. Soften in every sense of the word. Melt the heart. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. And then bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Bring your head forward and push your body into your legs. Uttanasana. Bend your knees again to land your belly on your thighs. Join the hands. Go deeper. Plunge the head down. Face to the shins if your legs are straight. Then release the hands, bring them up over the head, arch back if you feel comfortable, hips forward, and bring the hands back to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. Breathe in from the heart to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all beings. And release the hands. So, doing the postures now. Remember, make every posture an offering of your utmost, the best that you can offer. So we're going to start off with Ballet Pose and work from there. So standing on your left foot first. Bring the right foot up. You can either bring the foot against the inseam of the leg. If you have a lotus, you can go ahead, bring the right knee up to the shoulder. The edge of the foot, outside the foot comes into the hip crease, and then pull the knee down towards the ground. If you're having trouble balancing, just keep your foot close to the ground. Maybe the toes stay on the ground. Turn your knee out. Make sure it's not against the knee, somewhere below or above. So now bring your hands to the heart. Gaze beyond the tip of the nose, and then eventually you grow your branches up towards the sun. Push your chest up. If you have good balance, you can look up. Be unconcerned about what happens with the body during the practice, and that if you fall, just come right back up. It's the effort that is most important. Just continue to be the witness, unjudging, unfazed, undisturbed. So now we're going to come into another pose here. So take your arms out to the side, release the leg in front, and then from here, bend the standing leg, push the right thigh against the left, turn to the left a little bit. You might be able to hook the toes around the back of the standing leg. Eagle, Garudasana, left arm over top of the right, intertwine the forearms, and sink down the seat.
Push the elbows further forward. Fix your gaze intently like an eagle's gaze. Come down lower if you can, but try to keep your shoulders over your hips more or less. From here, we're going to come out to one more pose. So try to keep your leg from dropping down. Spread your wings like an eagle diving down from a great height. The head comes close about the height of the knee. Your belly comes against the thigh. Bend the standing leg if you like a little bit, so you can rest your belly on your thigh. But then get a little bit of extension. Head comes forward, right leg comes up higher. Press into your left foot, come up gracefully. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine moving through the poses with complete ease, like a shapeshifter, just shifting from one form to the other fluidly. Other foot, standing on the right foot, take your left foot into position. Just do a normal tree this time, just to demonstrate, but of course go into lotus if you like. The foot pressing in the inseam of the leg, especially the base of the toes, the toe pads and the heel. And then raise your arms up. Nice and high. Think of yourself as a tree. Merge with all forms. Be reverent to all forms. For all are just different manifestations of God, of divinity. Tap into all those virtuous qualities of every being. Good. Now from here, bring your arms out to the side, release the left foot. Bring the knee up as high as you can, so when it comes to cross over the other leg, the leg comes up higher on the thigh. Then it's a little bit easier to twist that way and get the foot around to hook. If it doesn't hook, don't worry, just allow it to hang out like this, to the side, and then the right arm over the left. Bring your shoulders back. Imagine the eagle about to take flight, crouching down low. Fix the gaze. Getting ready to release, push into your right foot to come back. Spread your wings like the great wingspan of an eagle. And now dive forward. Raise the left leg up. If you need to, you can take your index fingers to the ground. So do whatever you need to find your way into the pose as gracefully as you can. And try to be in the body of that form. Eventually, you're as comfortable in every body as you are in your own, equally. Now push into the right foot to come back up. Release. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll try one more sequence. Move to the back of the mat. Starting off with balancing T-pose. Bring your arms around the back of the body. Hold the left wrist with your right hand. Step your left foot forward. Hinge at the hips, coming down level, head level to the ground. With the hips, I should say. And then bring the right leg up. Imagine you're lying on the table. Your body should look like a letter T, the foot and the head at the same height. As best as you can manage. Now from here, if you like, you can go a little bit deeper to toppling tree. We'll bend the body down a little bit, very similar to what we just did in eagle, but the hands are together, open up the palms, curve the back by lifting the head. If it's too much to extend your leg, you can just bend your knee, foot stays close to seat, you can do Hummingbird, and you don't even have to join your hands. This is Hummingbird. Make your body as compact as possible, but the knee's still up. Good, now from here, Adho Chandrasana. Left hand comes down to the ground, about a foot in front of your left foot. Again, you can keep your knee bent if you like, or as you raise your right arm up, turn to the right. Eventually you can try to extend the leg, or you can take hold of the foot, bind the foot, and pull on the foot. Try to get your right shoulder and your right hip to come in line over the left shoulder and left hip.
Concentrate on stillness. Raise the right leg up higher if you have the extended version of Ardha. And then bend the standing leg. Come back. Come to the back of the mat, starting again on the other foot. All right, still. Standing at the back of the mat, holding the left wrist as your right hand. Take a right foot forward. Bring your head down. Keep your body nice and long. Raise the left leg up. Again, try to, as much as possible, imagine your head, you're trying to have the same height as the left foot. Toppling tree if you like. Interlace your fingers. Open up the palms, bring your left foot up higher. Your chest comes forward. Or, again, hummingbird. Keep your knee bent so your foot's close to the seat. And you can just allow your arms to just separate. Hands in Yana Mudra. Think of that delicate, small little bird. Ardha. Right hand comes down by the foot in front of the right foot. Open up to the left. Left arm up. Turn to the side if you can. You can either take the foot if you have it right there and just push the foot away from the seat. Try to open up your chest as much as possible. Or extend the leg. Left arm comes up. Make sure you can see the foot. If it's too far back, just move it until it's in your line of sight. Raise the foot up higher if you can. Beautiful. Staying strong on the standing leg, bend the right knee and release from the pose. Breathe in, breathe out, all fatigue. So now, step the left foot forward. Big step forward, lower the back knee, and then sink your seat down. If your knee comes way beyond your toes, you might want to slip your foot a little bit further forward. I'm going to do it this way actually. Let's see a bit better. So now drop your hip all the way forward, starting off with a preparation for Kapiyasana. Left hand on your left knee, right hand slides to the back foot. Just pull the body by the hips. Left shoulder goes back. Now from here, spear pose, Kuntasana. If you can, bring the right foot up. You can even hold the foot like this and left arm forward. Okay, so this is one variation of the pose. Try to get your elbows in line with one another, one straight line. If you can, bring your left hand across the chest. You have to push down on the foot a little bit so it comes close to the front of the shoulders. You can take hold of the foot and then the right arm comes out. If you're very flexible, you push down on the foot, lift up a little bit, bring your hip back, right hip back. Eventually you can allow the foot to sit underneath your rib basket. And then you can take both hands free. It's for advanced practitioners. Okay, so different options. Now from here, variations, either Kapiyasana or Swan. So you just take your foot in the crook of the arm, ears, the fingers are close to the ear, left hand comes around, and bind the fingers together. Push the foot back in the arm, in the wrist, so the elbow unbends a little bit more and softens this curve. Or you can bring the right foot down, turn forward, Kapiyasana. Chest forward, arms back over the head. Other variations for advanced practitioners, go ahead. Explore them, explore your potential. Break the pose. Come back up and change legs. So your right foot is forward again. Your knee will be above the toes. If it goes way beyond the knee and your heel's lifted, You might want to move the foot forward a little bit. Make sure the right heel is on the ground. Starting off again by just pushing into the front knee. Make sure you don't jam up your neck. Pull the right shoulder back. Slide your left hand towards the back foot. Concentrate on lengthening this curve, the side body. Right hip moves down. So try to lengthen. Take all the folds out of the waist area. Now if you want to proceed here, you can come into spear pose. Bring the left foot up. And just push the foot into the crook of the arm. The right arm comes up and try to get your elbows. Imagine trying to get about the same height. From elbow to elbow, one straight line. Or reach across, pull the foot in a little bit. Reach across with your right hand. Take the foot. Left arm goes back behind. Look beyond your left fingertips. Again, if you have the ability, lift up, bring your right hip up, left hip up a little bit, and then you push on it for the same time, and then your foot might be able to sit underneath the rib basket to take both arms out. From here, moving into Swan or Kapiyasana. You just have to bring the foot in the crook of the arm, keep the fingers close to the ear if you're doing Swan. The right arm comes beside your right side of the head and push the foot back into the inner wrist. Look forward. This is too much. Turn forward, keep your seat low, Kapiyasana. Radiate your inner light, just like the moon reflects the light of the sun. Break the pose. Lead the heart to come back up. Push into the front knee. And the right knee bows back, left foot forward. So from here, I'm going to do it this way, Parivitta-Parsvakonasana. Bend the toes under and the back foot. The legs are square, like a box. Left hand to the seat, right arm up. Take the hand to the outside of the knee. Push into the seat, pull down at the same time. Inhale, lift through the chest, look towards your left. Look over your left shoulder, reach back, and you can take your fingers to the outside of the heel. Keep your body upright, your lower back pushing up and in. This is easy for you, Parivitta-Parsvakonasana. So you can either stay there if that was already at your edge, or right arm comes up, elbow to the outside of the thigh. See how the back of my arm is anchoring the leg in place. And then from here, you try to push your body up, your belly's higher than your thigh. Left hand pushes in the right, or left fist in the right palm. And see if you can push your chest, send the chest towards the hands. Roll the left shoulder back. Right. The left hip moves back, the head moves forward. If you can, take the right knee up off the mat. If you know how to bind, go ahead. Might be easier to have your knee down first as you take the bind. Move the hips back first, and then the left arm snakes and push the on the elbow so the hand comes through underneath. Pull the left shoulder back, chest and face up. Now if you want to try bound Chandrasana. So you lift your left hip, move the right foot in a little bit. You have to have your left hip right over the front heel. Take a half breath in and see if you can raise your right leg up. Again, this is a more advanced pose. Other variation, just keep your foot on the ground but spin on your feet. And then turn your toes to face long edge of the mat. You don't have to do this from a bind. You can keep your hands as they were in prayer. Lift your hips. Try to get the right leg straight, eventually left hip comes up and back as well. Okay, so lots of different options. Go to what's appropriate for you. You can always stay in this Parivitta-Parsvakonasana. And then release. Bring the right knee down, turn to the front, change sides. I'm changing orientation too so you can see from another angle. Left arm up, Hand to the outside of the knee, right hand pushing into the seat, pull down at the same time. Lift to the chest, look over your right shoulder, lean back, right hand to the left heel on the outside. Just keep the body upright, drop the right hip down. This is too easy. Purify Kuntasana. Left arm up, face forward, and then bring the elbow down. So if you get your shoulder down low enough so your armpit's against the leg, move your hip back, push on the right elbow, so the left elbow I should say, and then just see if you can slip your hand in underneath. Right arm goes over the back, lock the fingers together or hold the wrist if you can with your left hand. Bring the back knee up if and when you can. Inhale, pull the right hip back, head moves forward, exhale, turn. Feel as though you're trying to make it look like you're lying on your back. Again, revolved, bound triangle, or with just hands in prayer, you can just turn on your feet, spin on your feet, so your feet are parallel. This version here, or turn towards the front. Try to get the left leg up. Right hip over the right heel, and lift the left leg up. Take a half breath in. Okay, so other variation, if you can't do it with a bind, your left hand comes down, your right arm stays on the seat or straight up. This is another variation. Okay, stay for a moment longer. Extend, twist a little bit more on the exhale. And release. So bring your hands down to the ground, facing forward. Switch the feet around, left foot in front, moving towards the outside of the mat. But stay on the edge of the mat or on the inside, and then just rock back and forth, pushing off the toes. And then bring the knee down, flatten out the toes, anchor down through the front of the hips like you're doing a cobra. The left knee stays right against the left shoulder. Make sure it doesn't pop out to the side. Move the foot out a little bit more so knees are over in the same lines of foot. If it's appropriate, you can roll to the right, right forearm down, roll to the left, left forearm comes down. Extend through the chest. Keep on telescoping the chest forward. Eventually, you get long enough, your body will come down closer to the ground. Maybe eventually the chest will rest on the ground. Make sure the left side seat is, sit bone's pointing down, not out to the side. So you don't want to have the left hip way up higher than the other one. Okay, so your chest, both sides of the body, the front of the hips are down. If you know the variation, if your chest is on the ground, you can slip your left arm on the outside and underneath the knee, over your back, and then you can hold the right wrist. The right arm goes over the back as well. Be like a lizard, try not to blink. Imagine sunning yourself on a warm earth. Merge with the form. And then coming back, working on Hummingbird. Move the left hip back so the hip is over the back knee, in line with the back knee, the hips are lined and over the back knee. Bring the chest, roll the left shoulder back, and then see if you can push gently down the chest towards the front, the left knee, the left shoulder right beside your left knee. Maybe the forearms will come down eventually. Keep telescoping your chest forward. This is too easy, Hanumanasana. Come forward like you're doing Antilyasana, lunge, and then just start to slide your heel forward, bend the toes under on the right foot. Walk your hands a little bit closer in, so aligned with the hips, and then pulse. Mindfully, don't overstretch. Just pull the feels towards one another, the feet towards one another, as if you're trying to compress the mat between your feet. On the exhale, yield a little bit. Imagine you're stretching the mat with your feet, your heels, and with your feet. If you're all the way down, hands over the head, Kali Mudra. This pose expresses, embodies all of Hanuman's qualities, courage, devotion, and faith. And as a result, he was able to accomplish great feats. Imagine you're leaping over Sri Lanka to rescue your master's wife. That's what Hanuman did. Break the pose. So from here, lean forward, push into your hands, and slide the left foot back. Change sides. Right foot forward, starting off with lizard. Go back and forth. Pushing off the roots and toes again. Send the heel back as far as you can. Lower the knee, flatten out the toes. Again. Get heavy through the front of the hips. Feel like you're doing a cobra. If your shoulders are the same height as the knee or lower, roll to the left, left forearm down, roll to the right. See if the right forearm comes down as well. Keep telescoping the chest forward. Adjust your hips so the right sit bone is pointing straight down, not out to the side and up. And keep on bringing your chest forward until eventually the chest comes flat on the ground through the lengthening of the body. You can circle your right arm around the other side of the chest is right on the ground. Slip your arm underneath the knee, right arm. Left arm goes over the back, and you just take hold of that left wrist with your right hand. Your right shoulders, right with the right foot. Break the pose. Going back up with your forearms. Bring the hips back so that the hips are aligned with the back in line, left hip over the left knee. Bring the toes up a little bit off the ground. Ardha Hanumanasana. Just sink. With the inhale, pull the right hip back, extend the head forward and chest forward. Exhale, just pour a bit of weight, bit by bit, more into the right leg on top. Take your attention all those areas that feel tight, restricted. That's where your attention will go. Your attention is like a magnet. Now again, if you like, come up higher. Bring your hips forward, press into your fingertips, and start to slide the right foot forward. Might be beneficial to slide it right off the front edge of the mat. If you know other variations of Hanumanasana, advanced practitioners, go ahead. Put your flat down, you can take the arms up. Think to yourself, keep thinking anything is possible. Hanuman has exemplified that truth. Lift up, reach, extend, beautiful. And then release. From here, hands to ground, pull the right foot in, and from here, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Vasisthasana. Left hand comes towards the right, spin on your feet. Your right ankle could be in front of the left. Hips up. Make sure you don't drop into your shoulder, you don't lose your neck. Keep the left arm fully extended. The left hand is a little bit in front of the shoulder. Right, so you can stay here. You can lower the left knee down if it's too much, or come down on the forearm if your wrist is not handling this. Your wrist can't withstand it. Or You can come into other variations. Wild thing is a nice one. Slide your right toes back alongside the left knee. Flip your hips and chest up. Now if you keep your hips way up, keep pushing to your left hand. Left base of the toe, big toe on the ground. You can take hold of the knee. If you have the flexibility, take hold of the foot. Watch the body moving with grace and ease. Bury your mind deep in the heart, and the body will move even more so. Now release, come back the same way as you entered, with fluidity. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Soften in every sense. Go to the other side. Right hand comes towards the left. Spin towards the left. Hips forward. Imagine you're a kite being blown from behind. Push your hips forward. Stretch the whole front of the body. Then, of course, explore your variations. Slide your left toes back if you like. Your hips and your chest come up. Make sure, again, you don't drop into your shoulder. Like you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, same type of feeling. Point, angle of the right foot out at about 45 degrees. Make sure the inside edge of the foot, the base of the big toe are grounded. Release, back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out, soften everything. Good. Now from here. Okay, so you step the right foot forward, spin so your toes are facing along the edge of the mat, arms out to the side, come up like a star. Fingers in line with the toes, right above. I'm going to do it this way actually. Easy Chakrasana. Pull your heels in, the toes are pointing out, hands to the seat, and then push your hips forward. Bend your knees so your knees come beyond your toes, and then push your hips forward. Drop the head back. From here, you can slide one hand down, right hand down the back of the leg. Just hold underneath, just under the knee. Left hand comes down the same way. Now roll, use your hands to roll the thighs outwards and roll the shins inwards. This is why I have them just below the knee, so you can have that counter spiral just where it needs to be. If you're more flexible, you can walk your hands further down. Some of you might be able to step on your fingers with your heels. Some of you might be able to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you can see the floor easily, right arm goes over your head, and then the fingers come down, and then the other hand comes down. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, try to make your way back. Keep your left hand grounded, right hand returns where it was on the leg. Push into the back of the leg, right underneath the knee. So you stay strong through the legs, through the push of the right hand, and then the other hand comes onto the leg, and walk your way back up. Everybody follow the same thing. Everybody walks their way back up. Arms out to the side, heels come out wider, edges of the feet parallel. Prasarita Padottanasana, hinge forward. You can step on the edges of your, use the edges of your feet to press up down onto the fingers. Extend to the crown and pull the head right in between your legs if you can. Try to get your chest behind your legs. Pull your head through a little bit more. Even if it doesn't touch down all the way. No matter. Good. Now inhale, come back up halfway. Walk your hands out in front. The shoulders, so a few options. If you're a little bit tighter in the hamstrings, you can walk forward in the plank, lower the knees down. Try to have your knees in line with your heels. And then from here, you might be able to come onto forearms and just slide your knees further apart and bring your hips down between your knees or further back towards your heels. Draw the hips back. If you're more flexible, you can slide your feet right out to the side for side splits. Again, always mindfully, thighs rolling inwards, come down, and then might be able to even bring your hips are like a hinge. You might be able to, if your thighs are rolled inwards, you might be able to get your chest right down on the ground. Just keep picturing yourself in the shapes of the animals that you can do these poses, can do these postures with ease, and put yourself in their body. Tap into consciousness of the Guru, who is your teacher, to try to learn all their tricks. Slide your hands back, getting ready to exit. Push your way back up if you're doing side splits. Push into your hands, and then push more into one hand so you can slip your foot in one at a time until you're at a comfortable distance. Otherwise, return from your frog. Arms out to the side again. Stay strong through the core to come back up. One more easy Chakrasana. Turn your heels in. Hands to the seat to start. Push your hips forward. Bend your knees. If you bend your knees more, your head comes close to the ground. And then this is what makes it possible to go into the deeper variation with your hands closer to your feet or right on the ground, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, practice according to your condition and your abilities and your comfort level. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety. This is not what you want to transmit. Now getting ready to return. So again, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, come onto your fingertips, push your hips forward, really heavy on your feet. And then one hand pushes against the back of the knee, underneath the knee, and the other hand. And keep pushing into your legs forward as you walk your way back up. Arms out to the side. Bring the hands back to the heart for a moment. From the solar plexus, breathe out to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the center of your energy. So be well established in your energy. Send it out, your power. Send out your power to all beings everywhere. And then from here, step your feet back together. Release the arms. So come down onto your hands and knees, inversions. If you know how to do Shilshasana Headstand, please go ahead right now. You can go ahead. You don't have to wait for me. I'll just demonstrate other options for those who are not too comfortable with inversions, don't know how to enter it. So if you want to stay close to the ground as much as possible, forehead in front of your knees, arms beside your feet, and then just lift up your hips. Try to get your hips in line with your knee. You'll feel pressure on the back of the neck. If it feels like too much, just walk your head forward a little bit more. Eventually, you might be able to take the next variation. So teddy bear is also a nice one to try. Your fingertips are in line with the knees. You bring your head forward, so your head and your hands form a big base. And then from here, you want to have your hands should not be beside your head. They should be where you see them, the arms at right angles, the upper arm to the forearm. And lift up your hips, walk forward, and just push just underneath the knees against the elbows. Keep pushing into your hands, push your knees into the elbows and vice versa. You can just play hot potato with the ground with your feet. Just toe tap, pull your toes away from the mat every once in a while, maybe just 1 foot at a time. If you're comfortable, you eventually raise both feet up. And slide your elbows in a little bit more so the knees are on your backs of your arms. Too much pressure on your head. You distribute the weight by coming onto your forearms. So if you're in headstand, stay there. Keep your mind fixed on the space between your eyebrows, the seat of divine perception. One more variation here for those who want to try. Make sure you can hold your opposite elbows easily. Interlace your fingers, place the head between your palms. And then walk your feet forward. And then step 1, just lift your heels and come back down. As you lift your heels, try to get your seat right over in line with your elbows and your shoulders. If you walk your feet closer, you'll be able to get to this alignment. You're pressing the hands into the back of the head like a helmet. Bring one leg back, keep the foot close to your seat, flex the foot, push through the base of the toes. And you do the same thing, you just lift your heel up and down. Eventually, if you push into forearms hard, you keep pushing through the foot that's behind you and push the thigh against the body if that's accessible. You can again play hot potato to the ground with the foot that's on the ground. Bend your toes back away from the floor. Just hover there. So always move in a way that's controlled, no jerky motions, no fast movements. Keep your movements mindful and slow and controlled. And then return from wherever you are. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. And roll your way up. Good. Just to practice the shape we need for shoulder stand, we're going to come sit on your heels. Sit on our heels, bend the toes under, and from here, come upright. Hands on the seat. Push your hips forward. Lean back. Stay strong through the thighs. And bring the right hand to the right heel, left hand to left heel. Bring your heels together, intertwine your baby fingers across. And then push your hips forward. Feel as though you're going to fall on your thighs. Your chest is up, your head's back. This is hare pose. Actually, this is rabbit pose. Make sure you're pressing through the roots of your toes so you don't actually fall on your thighs. Stay balanced, put your chest up higher. Make it large. And from here, tuck the chin in. Go back a little bit so your shoulders behind your heels, and then hands one at a time to your seat. Push your way back up. And then flatten your toes, child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Shoulder stand. You know, other entries go into shoulder stand, like coming from forward, go ahead. I'm going to just show the conventional one. Move to the front of the mat so you have room to go back. Lie down on your back, arms beside your body, palms down, lift your legs up. Push into your arms. Try to send your legs up and back behind your head. Even if they don't come down to the ground, that's no big deal. So try to get your feet as far back behind your head as possible. Join your hands. Try to get your arms behind your back as much as possible. Elbows at least behind your back. Then place your hands on your back, lower back, and raise your legs up one or both at a time. If it's too much, you can keep your knees bent, or you don't have to come up as high. Maybe your legs are more at an angle, like this. So if you have your arms behind your back though, you'll find a straight line from your toes to your chin more easily. If you have a lotus, take your lotus. It makes it look like a more of a meditation pose, which is what we're trying to get comfortable in. Right on the top of your shoulders, you can take your hands to your knees. Still the mind now. Go beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Next, we have lotus. Just bring your lotus against your body. If you can wrap your arms around the outside and join your hands underneath your seat, you can do this embryo pose, full embryo. If your feet are not in lotus, you can come into plow. Legs behind your head. If you push on your back, so your hips are over your shoulders, your feet will come down closer to the ground, maybe on the ground. And then you can bring your thighs against your body if you wish. Try to bring your knees right against your shoulders.
Again, go deeper within. Soon, when you merge in a form, when you find as comfortable in that form as you are in your own body, your ability to concentrate uninterrupted becomes more easier in every pose. Uninterrupted concentration is meditation. Again, ready to come out. Slowly, no fast, hard landings. Allow your legs to stay close to your body as you come back down, vertebra by vertebra. If you happen to have a lotus, once your knees are down, push into your elbows, bring them right against the bottom, beside your body and underneath a little bit. Push your chest up, bring your head back, and this is where the point where if it'll move your head a little bit more, this is where I find it easier to take the toes, pull on the toes so that your knees and your elbows can come down. If you're doing regular fish, your hands underneath the seat, elbows close to one another. Push your chest up, try to get the top head to the ground. Breathe very fast and nose like a sniffing dog now. Keep going with the breath. If you like, raise your legs up 12 inches off the mat. If you want to take your arms out from underneath and bring them over your legs as well, same angle, hands together, flying fish. Bring the legs down. Rest. If you have a lotus, release your lotus. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come to seated position. Alright, so we're going to do stork. Come into a squatting pose here. So your feet are about 3 inches from the edges of the mat, a little bit more in hip width, or shoulder width actually, maybe about shoulder width. And then from here, lift your seat, your knees, back to knees in line with your heels. Take the arms around the outside, and then in through the center from behind. You can stay here. This is where you're limited in your hamstrings, so you can just lock your fingers together and just stay here like this. Telescope your chest forward. Your belly's between your thighs. If you're able to go a little bit deeper, lift your seat. You have to slide your elbows under, the arms a little further down, the legs toward the ankles. Tuck your chin in and see if you can cup your hands around your ears. Lift your seat up, try to get your legs straighter. If you can palm your hands your way back alongside on each side of the head, interlace your fingers. So again, you're forming a helmet for your head. And then just pull on the head, the back of the head, so you can stretch the back of your neck. And then from here, release. Now, if you know Titibasana, we're going to try that. So we're going to slide your hands in behind. You can bring ideally your hands are flat on the ground. Some of you might find it easier to come onto your knuckles. And then you just have to try to get your seat down behind your knees, basically. So you're hugging your shoulders from behind and in front. Walk your feet forward. Keep your chest forward, your chest level with the ground. And then you would see if you can pick up your toes. Okay, so it's a little bit easier if you're on your hands. Yeah, but if you have wrist issues, and sometimes people find it easier in knuckles, or you don't have to lift your feet up at all. You just stay like this. So try to get your chest low. If you're doing flat on your hands, just see if you can pull your toes up. Now those of you know the exit into chaturanga, go ahead. So you have to straighten your arms and then go back. I was a little bit too close to the couch. Okay, so come forward and just rest. Forehead on the hands, breathe in, breathe out. Let's do Shalabhasana here. Join your hands behind your back, lift your chest, lift your thighs. Feel as though you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Every part of the body singing, actively involved. Stretch, imagine you're trying to reach for the heels. And down, release. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. Bend your knees, bring your heels up. So you can take hold of your ankles. And then inhale, lift the chest. Pull on the ankles so the ankles come further back away from your head. You keep your thighs on the ground if you like. If you can, you pull on your feet, try to get your thighs up off the ground. Dhanurasana. Lift up. Offer it up. Now pull the heels in towards the seat. Keep your thighs up if you can. Release your feet up. Release the ankles and fly like you're skydiving. Take your arms out to the side. Keep pressing actively through the heels. Elbows out to the side. Feel like you're flying through the air. And release. Come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. All fatigue removed. All tension removed. Push your way up to seated position. Take your left leg out in front. So we have options here. You can just take the right foot across the outside of the leg. Your foot is between your knee and your ankle. You can stay in this. If you can fold your left leg in. So your knee is roughly in front of your chest in the same line, and your foot's on the outside of the right heel. And your left foot is on the outside of the right heel, and your right foot is on the outside of the left knee. Left hand behind your back, down the center of the back. Reach left arm up and press the forearm against the thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Exhale, turn to the right. If you're doing this variation, you can also reach down for the heel, pull on the heel, or take a bind if you know it, slip your left arm underneath the knee, and then it comes against the belly, the right arm comes around the back, and you can hold the right wrist with your left hand, or lock the fingers. If you're doing it with your leg extended, remember the foot is not as close, it's on beyond the knee. Just slowly slide your belly so that's not obstructed by the thigh. Slide the belly to the right of the right thigh. Look over your back shoulder. Break the pose, change sides. Make sure both sides of the seat are grounded. Make sure that one side doesn't get uprooted as you twist. Right arm up, go to the outside of the left thigh. Make sure you're not leaning back. Keep your left hand close to the seat, right against the center of the back. Just try to imagine a spiraling action going all the way up the spine, spine's twisting, the organs detoxifying as you bring out all the toxins from the organs.
return. So now let's come into seated position for a moment, Sukhasana or Padmasana, whatever you like, whatever's comfortable for you. Sitting tall, supremely still. Close the eyes. We're going to do 5 rounds of Purifier Pranayama to purify the Nadis. But remember that the Nadis, in order to purify them, you have to open them up first. You open them through the observance of the ethical rules, Yama Niyama, compassion and love towards all, loving kindness towards all beings. Sitting up tall. Purifier Pranayama, you breathe in through both sides of the nose, hold the breath, hold both sides of the nose closed, engage the throat in a root lock, and on the exhale, you breathe out through the left side. So your left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and thumb tips together, other fingers extended on the left knee, right hand, second and third fingers fold down to the base of the wrist, turn the palm towards you, and then the right thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left nostril. Always use your right hand. Keep the shoulders up over the hips, the back straight as possible. So the count is 4, 12, 8. 4 on the inhale, 12 on the breath retention, 8 on the exhale. Breathe out completely, empty the lungs. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Plug the nose with the thumb and the right ring finger. Hold the breath to contract the root muscles, pull up towards the navel. Chin on the chest. 5, 6. Attention at the third eye. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Breathe out to the left. Release the locks. 2, 3, 4. Release the root and the throat. 7, 8. Again, release the nose. Inhale to both sides. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Throat lock, root lock, third eye focus. 10, 11, 12. Breathe out through the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through both sides. Fill up as much as you can to the 4 counts. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Again, throat and root lock. Tongue behind the teeth, the upper palate. Third eye attention. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Breathe out through the left side. Release the locks at the throat and the root. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 3, 4. Hold the breath. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale through both sides. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Plug the nose. Keep the attention fixed at Trikuti, the seat of divine perception at the brow center. Throat and root lock. 10, 11, 12. Breathe out through the left side. Release the locks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just take a moment to assess any changes in your physical, mental, or emotional state. And then lie down on your back. Shavasana. So make your way into a comfortable position on your back where you can completely surrender to relaxation. The more you relax, the more you make yourself receptive to integrating all the benefits of the practice. So I'll just guide you through some breathing visualizations and exercises in order to promote the release of all the muscles. Just imagine yourself becoming a vessel when you let go of everything. Make yourself completely inanimate. You become a vessel to receive even more. No barriers, no obstructions. Invite it all in. So now take your attention to your left toes. Inhale all the way up to the left side of the body, the left leg, and then up through the spine, right to the crown. On the way down, back to the left toes. Feel the left side of the back just melting into the ground. The left leg as well, all the muscles just sinking into the ground as you release them. Feel as though the muscles dissolved into a state of softness, listlessness. Now from the right toes, same thing. Inhale up the right leg, all the way up through the spine, and right up to the crown. Exhale all the way back down the same path. As the breath moves back down, feel the whole right side of the back just sinking into the mat, becoming heavy. The right leg as well, feeling so heavy it becomes like dead weight. All the muscles, like jello, completely useless. From the left fingertips, inhale up through the left arm, right up to the crown. Exhale back down, feel the shoulder relax, and loosen, feel all the muscles. Just feel as though they're hanging off the bones like the skin, not doing anything. From the right fingertips, inhale up the right arm, right to the crown. Exhale back down to the right fingertips. Just feel all the arm as heavy as dead weight. Unable to move it, it's so heavy. From the crown, inhale down the spine, and then to the left. Go to the left leg, all the way down to the foot and to the toes. Exhale all the way back up. Feel as though you're releasing any residual tension that you find along the way that didn't get addressed the first time. Let it all go. Soften. From the crown, inhale down the spine, down the right leg, right to the toes of the right foot. Exhale, feel everything just dissolve into softness as you make your way back up to the crown. The leg is completely heavy and the back as well, all the way up. Now from the heart, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the heart. And feel not only any tension in the chest, releasing physical tension, but emotional tension as well. Feel freer, feel calmer, feel happier, and more peaceful. From the fingertips, from the toes, and through the pores of the skin, inhale all the way up through the arms, through the legs, and right into the spine. Send it all up to the crown. Exhale out the same way. Send everything out along with it. Imagine getting rid of all the debris, anything that doesn't serve you in any way, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional waste. Let it go. From the base of spine, inhale all the way up through the central spine, column to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Feel grounded, feel established in your connection with God. Scan the body now, see if you can find any signs, any indications of tightness or withholding, resistance, anything of the sort. Let it all go out with the breath. Here, let's just take a moment to establish ourselves in gratitude for all that we have and all that we are. This body this vehicle that we've been given to exercise our mission. We keep it strong and radiantly healthy through the practice. And we treat it in a way, we practice in a way that is mindful, that is reverent. Because everything that we transmit, that we feel, we transmit to others through our practice. Eventually, everything we do becomes an act of selfless service to others. So we want to keep that vehicle in good repair, obviously in good condition. So we practice in a way that doesn't bring about pain or suffering for ourselves and as a result to others. But we try not to identify at the same time too much with the body, for we are not the body. We are not in the mind or the emotions. If we bind too much to the body, and identify too much with the body, prevents us from learning our true nature, which is not the body or the mind or the emotions. It's beyond that. Its true nature is formless, is infinite. It's just pure love and wisdom and potentiality. The body's here just to execute and just to find its way through, pass through the experiences that we need to in this lifetime to learn more. Knowledge that helps us to break the patterns that cause pain and suffering, and that we can pass on to others through our sharing, through our example. So now let's make an intention in our mind to keep that intention strong. Repeat yourself the following sentence 3 times to yourself. I seek to continue to find the knowledge to share with others through the practice. All knowledge is good, whether it's come by in a painful or a positive way, because we all learn from those experiences, from that knowledge, to not land ourselves in a place of suffering. So now prepare to come back from Shavasana in a way that is gentle, that is mindful, that is quiet. Awaken the body. Prepare to come back into the body so you can carry on your mission of spreading love and benefits to all beings. Conclude with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it out to all beings. Send out gratitude to all beings everywhere, for they help us to learn as well. Be thankful for all experiences and beings who help us in some way or other to grow. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining today. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday, and if you're celebrating today, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Sending love to all of you.